So you provide OSHA certified training, and it's something we think and talk about all the time here. Um, why does it seem like there's no federal countrywide rules about training and licensing for equipment operators? Is it right? Or yeah,
It is, I make jokes about it all the time. It does seem very bizarre that you have to have training to operate like a power propelled pallet jack, but not for your big
yeah,
D10 dozers. And it's not that we don't require training. It is that we tell people that they have to follow the equipment manufacturer's manuals. So when OSHA says that they're putting the onus on to the companies in order to, make sure everybody's trained up, if you actually read the manuals, which is where people don't do things, if you read through the manual, right in the manual, it specifically states that that person, whoever the operator is required to read the whole manual before they operate it, and they're required to have training in order to understand that piece of machinery. So while there is no federal standard stating that they have to have specific equipment or training to operate dozers or operate excavators or anything else, what OSHA and all the other regulatory agencies will do is they'll fall back and say, it's your responsibility to follow manufacturer's guidelines. So no specific regulation, but still a requirement.
so it seems like the rules change somewhat depending on the type of equipment. Why is that the case?
A big thing is OSHA does require certain training for powered industrial trucks. So your forklifts, your telehandlers, things like that.
Yeah,
The reason that is out there is because we have the sheer number of people operating powered industrial trucks is massive. You have a little over 500,000 operators in the U.S. And with those huge numbers comes a tremendous amount of accidents. The statistics are unbelievable with it. You're talking about close to 100,000 injuries a year, just operating powered industrial trucks. And it's just a larger statistic than you're looking at with your land moving equipment or other heavy equipment. So because it's a little bit more universal and more readily acceptable, they want to make sure that they have a little bit more specialized training in those types of equipment.
on a similar note, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that on some job specific or some specific job sites, you do need additional training or certification. Is that right? If you're working beside a gas line, or if you're running an
Absolutely.
excavator on a highway.
Yep,
Is that right?
absolutely. So it all depends on where you're working and who you're working for. So
Right.
there's going to be certain areas like New York City and Philadelphia requiring every worker now to have at least an OSHA 10. Some have OSHA 30s. They're putting expiration dates on those, which is not an OSHA thing. That's a jurisdiction thing. I know just to dig in the city of Philadelphia at this point, you need to go to a 2 or 3 day full OSHA competent person excavation training. So it all is dependent upon where you're working and whose job sites you're on, because there are going to be even just the larger GCs out there are going to put a lot of requirements, because the larger the GC, the more risk and liability on them, the more people that they're hiring. They want to make sure that they've got a little beefier kind of role in how they're requiring their subs to come prepared.